focused. It means that you have a purpose, and that purpose is not being interfered with. There are no jamming signals or frequencies against it, and your intention and your attention are working together to move you forward against all the obstacles that the beast will put before you. And so I applaud those who actually are asking questions on this level because the mind is where they're attacking. That's where the war is going to take place. They already told you that we do not fight against men. We fight against principalities in high places. They talk about high places, they're talking about higher frequencies. So when you have that type of attention, brother, and you're dealing with the attention and you're sparsely giving it out, and when you give it out, you give it out in small pieces. You do not open up yourself completely to the type of nonsense that's going on. Make sure that the money that you pay, that you call the psycho-spiritual currency that you pay with your attention, make sure that you are getting back what that attention has actually been released for. In other words, when your attention is being given, when you're paying it, what are you receiving back? Make
Okay.
sure that whatever you're receiving back is worth it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
question, my brother. Take it. All right, peace. All right, let's keep it moving. We started off great so far, y'all. We started off great. I could just imagine how the workshop is gonna be. This Rico, your device is not connected, Rico. So I gotta keep it moving to Razor Sharp. What's happening, brother?
How you doing? How you doing? First, just want to say thank you
All
to
right.
both of you. And my question is, so I'm extremely sensitive to all energies, everything around me. I've been dealing with this for a while. I do acupuncture, I do qigong, you name it. So, as I went into a deep dive, I was told by someone who's currently kind of like a life coach for me. He said that non-physical beings sometimes travel through power lines. I'm just wondering if this is something you've ever heard about, or if there is any truth to it, or because I'm in the process of moving, and I've bought all this feng shui books, and I'm trying to figure things out. So just seeking
Yeah,
some advice.
yeah, that's a good question. This very thing that you're doing right now with me is non-physical. So non-physicality can travel through any forms or medium of constraint energies. In other words, if I have a wire that conducts energy, thought is energy, different types of ideas are energies, they permeate the atmosphere. So anything that you have as an electronic device that consolidates energy into specific patterns for communication, you can have entities that can actually align themselves with that energy. And that's why you have to be very careful about the words that you intone in your mind while you're listening to the music, especially. The music is definitely a place where they are actually using demonic frequencies to open up certain ideas that they're placing in the atmosphere, in the waters above you, so that you are now through precipitation, through consciousness, they call precipitation. You are it was precipitation and condensation. Those two things that you see that happen in waters happen in ideas as well.
Hmm.
So, since you are in water, condensation of thought and consciousness, precipitation of thoughts and consciousness are the same. You can actually intone demonic frequencies or frequencies that I will speak about tomorrow on Sunday that cause your energy, cause your whole reality to spiral downward into the lower frequencies, into the lower chakras. And that's what they're doing with the music. They're using demonic frequencies to offset the higher frequencies that would open your first eye. So yes,
Thank
you're on point with that. I would be very careful about the signals that you allow into your home and into your brain and into your house, into your TV, into everything. Get yourself, and I say this before we go, get yourself a there's this blanket that you can get. It's a little expensive that you could put over your TV, like what I put over my TV, what I put over my computer, that blocks out any energies that they can actually reverberate through your TV while it's off.
God. All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you,
Mhm.
my brother. All right, peace. All right, all right. Let's keep it moving to My brother David, well, I ain't see you in a while, man. What's going on, Dave?
Man, what's going on with you? Hope y'all doing well. Really good to see y'all.
Doing great, my brother. I like that. What's your question, my
I
brother?
appreciate you. Yo, my question is that just by doing some clearing work and you doing a lot of shadow work and you just, in those places where you kind of, well, not kind of, but you are expanding. What is the best way? Because I think I'm having a hard time with this to integrate that old person or the old persona that you kind of created. Because that persona you created protected you, was there for you, but now that it's not necessarily needed the way that it was needed, you need something. You're a new person and that kind of thing. How do you integrate that, or what's the best way to integrate that, or some suggestions to integrate that to everything else you want to do moving forward?
Well, that's because you're looking at it as two separate things.
Right.
It's not. When you think that you're moving from something old into something new, all you're doing is refining yourself.
Hmm.
We live in a place where duality exists. So we have a tendency to deal with things in dual purposes. They're not. It's all one thing.
Right.
And when you come out of the fact that it's actually a movement within your own developing consciousness, you
Hmm.
don't see it as something separate from what you were before as old and something that is new. All I see is refinement.
Hmm. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that question, David. I really like that
Yeah,
one.
good
Appreciate
question.
y'all. Hey, y'all keep doing your thing, yo. Keep blessing us
You
and keeping us, ahead of all the different games and tricks. So
you
appreciate y'all.
you uh you coming to the workshop on Sunday, Dave?
I gotta work and my daughter's gotta
Okay.
dance, so I won't be
I
able
hear
to.
you. I hear you. It's
All
all
right.
good. It's all good. But I'll
All
see you next time. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Y'all take care.
All right, peace. All right, let's keep it moving. We got a UBU Studios. What's happening, my brother?
Man, what's up, Rich and Doc? How y'all doing?
All right.
right. Brother looking like, what's his name? Redman.
Oh, word. Say, Doc, man, whatever, man. Say, bro, I got nothing but love for you, bro. I've been rocking with you for years. Rich, thank you for this platform, my brother. Everything is organized to the T, exactly like I would expect nothing less from you, my brother, for real, for real. But
Thank you.
look, Doc, this is my question, right quick, right? I really want you to get into them demagogues. You feel me?
Oh,
Ithriel, Ariel,
mm.
Medusa, and Stano. You understand? And
Yeah, yeah, I would not be able to do that because it will go too deeply into what it is that got this brother knocked off the air the last time. So
Mm,
I don't mind doing it, but in the Patreon, I might be able to do that. But
mm,
if I start doing Medusa and dealing with the Gorgon and the whole 9 yards, then I have to put it into what's happening today and
wow.
how they are using it and weaponizing that particular factor today at the microscopic level. So,
Yeah.
right, that's it.
right. So I'm registered for the seminar this weekend. So we going over that?
No, well, I'm going to touch it based on the superconscious. I'm not going to get down into the minutia of it, but when I do have my webinar, the Web and Archive webinar coming up, then they definitely that particular one that I did, which I believe what was it called, Blood Wars.
Mm.
That's what that came out in Blood Wars. If you remember Blood Wars,
Yeah. So Doc, if you can't answer them questions, then I'm gonna ask the general public one because I know Rich got it popping with at least 2,000 people in here. You feel me?
yes,
People want to know about the XRP and the XLM. You feel me?
oh
What's
yes,
up? What's up with the hacking with the XRP, right?
yeah,
And what's going on? Because I know that's going to be the new thing going forward in the future. I just
hmm
really wanted you to like expound on that and get the people up to date on that because we got a lot of bread in the XLM, the XDC, the ADA, right? The H bar. You heard me?
all right, brother,
And,
you
and
on it now? You on
that
the future? Hmm
and a quant. So I just wanted you to
Yes,
spill the
quantum,
beans
right.
on that a little bit. You feel me? We could touch on that without getting our brother Rich with the algorithms, with the AI intelligent alarm system ringing off. You feel me?
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm glad that you're doing this, that you're doing this for your family because what you're doing is time traveling. You're living in the future right now, and you are setting your future now. You are plowing the soil for your future and for your family. I could tell you that don't go for the FUD, what they call fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Right now, it's going to be real deep because those who don't want you to actually to profit from what's getting ready to go down. They want to maintain you in that slave mode. This is taking you outside of that. You're gonna have to sit. This is a long journey. This is something that they want to flesh you out. They're going to put all kind of garbage out. They're going to say, "Oh, why is it that XRP ain't rising with Bitcoin, for example?" And Bitcoin is who's buying up Bitcoin? Nothing but the people who's playing the game at that level. You can't really buy Bitcoin now because the damn thing is $40,000 for a coin. Who got money for one coin? You
Mm.
don't. So what you're doing is they're playing games. They're playing at an elite level that you can't play in, and they're making you believe that that's where the worth is because it's worth so much money. But it is not the future. The very thing that I did in one of my webinars when I spoke about who it is that Satoshi Nakamura was, the very word Satoshi Nakamura comes down to being Central Intelligence in Japanese. That's what it means. So Satoshi is not really a person, it's a group of people who created Bitcoin to circumvent the happening of World War III because of what we're dealing with as far as the currencies are concerned and what's getting ready to go when they start the banks start taking your money and you can't get access to it. So what I'm saying to you right now is make sure that you deal with gold, silver, copper, and platinum. The gold is God's money. Silver is the queen's money that you're talking about. These are the two and three and four different properties of wealth that they call God's money. Get those and put those aside because gold getting ready to hit 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,000, 10,000. Why? Because they need to deal with the quadrillions, they need the worth for the dollar to go up. So what's going to happen is once XRP is put into the system, all the money that they're holding for the rostro dostro, when all the money that each one of the banks around the world are holding in order for it to do a business, all that money is going to come back to them. In other words, I'm here in the United States. I want to send money to Switzerland. Switzerland needs to hold US dollars in order to be able to verify the transaction. Once the cryptocurrency gets into it, that money is going to come back to us. That money is going to come back and be part of the liquidity necessary to do business transcontinentally. So yeah, I would say put your money aside, get your crypto, sit on it like an egg ready to hatch. Don't go. Oh my God, it's dropped down to 40. Oh my God, it's going all the way to 57. Sit on it and wait. This is a waiting game. That's all I can say to you right now.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Gotcha, Doc. Much love, man. Blessings to you.
peace,
Thank
my
you.
brother. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Rich, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I love y'all both. For
Thank you,
real.
brother. Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right. Let's get to shout out to that brother right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the next question. Who's this? Dr. Zach Caxo. I don't know if I said that right.
It's Chuck Cachocho. Greetings. I'm
Chaka Chocho.
contacting you from the rainforest of the Yucatan. We call it the Yakutanai, but you all call it the Yucatan rainforest. And
She better
I had a question for Dr. Valentine. Here in my homeland, a lot of the information exchange is a lot more organic, less human centric, more ecocentric.
say.
Ecocentric in a sense that there's a deep understanding that we are a part of a system, a web, a mycelium mandala, an organic internet as opposed to a human centric uh, based understanding of a lot of the sciences and things that I see being exchanged on this channel and other channels. And I would like to see what you have to say about that as far as the ecosystems, the fact that abundance is perpetual within nature, and the fact that they're trying to have us focus on a scarcity mind to keep us locked into a specific matrix that they are in full control of. Thank you.
Well, I could say to you in the old Mayan, Ivamaya Maho, I am another yourself. And I understand exactly what you're speaking about. Uh, the Mandelas that used to be put down, especially by the people that call themselves the Navajo, that was the way they communicated. The specific Mandalas would then speak to them based upon if you look at your particular sigil that you have there, that sigil is a programming. That programming there that you put up there is causing the intonation of certain frequencies that bring about a certain set of information that is picked up on the subtle levels of the consciousness of each human being. So yes, we communicated with trees. I grew up in the bush. I knew about the fact that communicating with trees and how trees communicated with you, how the birds talked to you based upon how the wind spoke to them. I understand that we had our own Wi-Fi system, and that Wi-Fi system was nature itself. We knew how to speak and plug into it, and those Mandelas that you see there was one of the ways that we plugged into her Wi-Fi system. So yes, everything that they're trying to do is to get you out of that matrix and put you into what they call the that there's a uh, the Wi-Fi that they're placing around you right now is a kind of matrix that they want to take you out of and place you in it. And to place you in that matrix, the matrix that they control is the AI system. The AI system is to take over the natural system that you're dealing with, the one you're talking about. That AI system is creating a virtual reality. That virtual reality is the reality that they want you to step away from your reality, the true reality, and step into the AI that has created the reality they want to control. And the system over the last 2 or 3 years, and what they did to those people worldwide, based upon what we see as the lockdown that came about, that was to get you prepared for and to become, I guess, dependent upon the new system that they put in place. And the AI has been making templates of you. They took your energy signature because each person has a neural energy signature that is completely unique to them. And that neural energy signature, that electrical system that runs through your body, has a pattern that is unique to you. The AI now knows that pattern and is building a entity that matches your pattern, that looks like you, sounds like you, and acts like you. They're creating a whole other reality. That's why they're conditioning you to get in behind these gargles and get into that world, because that's the only world that they're going to be right now, that they actually want you to be in. They want you comfortably numb because they don't need your work anymore. They don't need you plowing fields. They have machines. They don't need you manning computers. The computers man themselves. They don't need organic bodies. They need to get rid of as many of them as possible so that they can have their own utopic world, which is not with you, in other words.
Hey,
Thank you.
yeah, indeed, I appreciate your question, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Sorry it took so long. I had to
It's,
get because he,
no.
he he had a very good point about the fact that we had a system of communication with the spirit.
Indeed, you see, you brought it up, Doc. So you ain't messing with them Apple goggles at all, huh? The Vision
No,
Pro.
no, no. That's the conditioning process to get your mind to create certain synapses. When you put those on, your brain is using the materials that create specific neural ganglia that creates the memory patterns in your brain. So when you become conditioned by the lights and all the different things that are in the virtual world, they're actually giving your brain information that you don't know that you're getting.
Mm,
And that information is actually forming a whole different ganglionic matrix inside of your brain that they're going to tap into with the 5G, 6G, 7G, 10G, all the way up. All of these different ways, these different ways that they're dealing with technology is to get into the electrical system that runs your consciousness.
mm,
Once they get that and tap into that, they can always manipulate the way you think and what you think.
mm. Whew, wow. All right, let's keep it moving. Where the sisters at? I noticed I got a lot of brothers in the back, and I guess the sisters be shy sometime to come on camera. But let's keep it moving. We got Jonathan up next. Jonathan Crawford. I'm
Hello.
hearing an echo, Jonathan. You have anything on that?
Can you
Check,
hear me now?
check, check, check. Yeah, no, we have echo. Wanna check, check, check. Yeah, it's something with your system when you put it on mute. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, something we got Barry Tone Jones. What's going on, Barry
Hey, what's
Tone?
good, guys? Can y'all hear?
Yes, you good?
What's happening? What's happening? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool, cool. Appreciate y'all for letting me onto the platform and everything that y'all have done in y'all's whole career in the first place. Very, very grateful. OG, I was wondering if you could speak on some advanced grounding tips as we move into this very, very crazy technological advances.
Hmm. Good point. Get yourself a Faraday cage and begin to create Faraday cages. All right. The Faraday cage is a way
How you
that you
spell correct?
Faraday, Faraday cage. That's how you protect all your electronic instruments and how you protect yourself against the type of frequencies that they're going to be using to somnambulistically intone and embed frequencies that have specific types of information and different ways that they're going to control you to make you believe that the thoughts that you're thinking belong to you, and they don't.
So how do you use that when grounding? Because brother,
Well, the Faraday cage is what you put around your bed. They have different types of. You can look it up online. There are people that are actually working it. You could put your cell phones in it. You could put all of your. In fact, there are people now, very smart people who are building homes now that are actually building it into the walls
mm,
so that they can't actually, they have these beams that they can shoot and see your outlet and see your sign, see who you are, see who's inside, and so forth. The Faraday cage definitely takes you out of that. There's other people who put it into their shoes, who have it in the inside of the soles of their shoes, and they have it in their coats and shirts, and put it in their hat. They even have Faraday hats so that they can't mess with
Oh,
your.
okay, powerful. Hey, brother
yo, I
Barry,
never heard
I,
of it.
Mhm.
indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question, my brother.
For sure,
You
y'all
hear me?
stay up. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's see if Rico got his. Rico, are you there, Rico?
Peace and blessings. Can y'all brothers hear me?
Yes, sir.
All praises, all praises. So as far as all of this mind reading technology, is any of it correlated with the test that they were administering for that so-called plague the past few years? And if this is something
We're not talking about that, brother. Do you have another question?
No, I will buy a ticket for the event. Thank you.
Appreciate it, my brother. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got to move strategic and be smart, family. Phil's going to discuss all of that on Sunday at the workshop, but let's make sure we keep this particular talk up because this is a real good one and it's important. And we got to protect this channel as well. Let's get to Royale Obey. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Peace, peace,
How
peace.
y'all doing?
All right.
Peace. Thank you for having me on. I just had a question. When I was young, I had a dream that I was flying through the air and I was going through the clouds, and there was like a field around me. I couldn't see all the way around me, but from my perception, it was all around me, and it kind of looked like how kaleidoscopes look when you look at the kaleidoscope. You're changing it, and when I started awakening and I started like doing meditation and sun gazing and different things like that, I started seeing that same field in this reality. Do you have any idea what that could be?
Well, inside of your eyes are water, and they carry specific color variations in the form of particles, and they deal with the color variations that you see. Sometimes what happens is they don't coalesce into the natural colors that you see around you. And when you meditate, they tend to disperse and become individual. So that kaleidoscopic energy that you're feeling around you is essentially what it is your brain is actually expressing, because the meditation that you're actually in is not focused, it's not concentrating on anything at this point. So when your brain begins to concentrate, remember your brain is what actually consolidates reality. Reality was
Right.
God's thought. So the specific particulates, the particles that create the reality that you are seeing, you're now saying, okay, I no longer want to deal with this world. I don't want to deal with the specific, the firmness of this world. What makes this particular thing a thing? So in your meditation, you're no longer you're not consolidating reality. What you're doing is you're causing what reality is comprised of to just go, give me the contents of what you are comprised of, and that's where you start seeing all these colors, and those colors essentially are there for
Oh.
you to be able to use them to consolidate a reality. Very few people can actually do that, to consolidate the reality that you want for the future. That happens in sex as well. When you have a woman that's working tantra with you, you can do that because then you are dispersing everything and you're focusing it on just pure energy that you're raising from your kundalinis. At that point, she can actually hold on to a vision while she's going through orgasm, and that vision becomes imbued with her energy, and you've created a baby energy, a baby signature in the atmosphere that can come to life, that can come real.
Awesome.
You
Hey,
know,
Wow.
did I answer
I
your question, my brother?
would, I would,
Out of five, appreciate you.
I would like to see you take, notice. I'm not, I'm not no aspersions, but NASA, what you're looking on your chest right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to. You and I would have to talk about what that is, and the repping of what that actually means, because
Okay.
that's going to be an impediment to the freedom that your mind seeks, because they're there to make sure it stays in lockup.
Mm.
I hear you.
Just
All
be
right.
careful, beloved. Just be careful, beloved. Just want you to know that.
Okay. Thanks for the
I
question.
know. I appreciate you.
Peace,
Yeah.
brother. Peace, peace. Doc, we might have to, Doc. I'm gonna give you a call. The next Patreon I do with you, I think I want to do it on Tantra. You got that'll be fire. That'll
I'd
be
love to do that. I did a whole thing. One of my lectures on there from back in the '90s. I
back in.
had,
I think I vaguely remember that
yeah,
you back in.
yeah.
Yeah, we need an up to date version. I'm gonna call you. I know you got a lot going on this weekend. I'll call you
Mhm.
next week and try to
Yeah,
set something up for later in the week.
sounds like a plan.
That y'all heard it here first. Me and Doc got a new Patreon coming late next week, y'all. Ooh, I can't wait for that one. Let's get to the next caller. We got my brother Dean. Dean, I ain't see you in a while. What's going on, my brother?
How you doing, brother Rich?
Oh, I'm doing great. What's happening?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
frozen.
yeah, you frozen.
My
Dean,
headset going out.
Oh, here it is. There you
Dean
are.
yeah, Dean, yeah. Your audio, I can't hear you.
It's a shame. I hate when this happens.
Yeah.
People who really have been waiting to come in.
To come in and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, here you are.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
All right.
Um, there was something you said. Thank you for taking me in, brother Rich, Dr. Valentine. It's always a pleasure. Just to listen. There was something you touched on the other night, brother Rich, and you were talking about Bobby Hemmett.
Mhm,
And it's funny because I was actually watching a lecture that he did, and he talked about this transitional point.
mhm,
And he was like, he felt like he was going crazy. And he said, he described him snapping on you and
mhm,
going off on you, and he called you back. But I remember that. And I think I'm going through this dark night of the soul.
mhm,
And I had to question me. I had to question my ego and I had to question myself. But I found something profound where I was like, it's something that I think we unconsciously do because we have a savior complex. And I understood something that was so important was that ain't nobody coming to save you, and you really got to save yourself. And however I had to wake up my soul, I had to wake it up.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's frozen now. He's frozen
I'm
now, Doc.
frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could just,
Yeah, Dean.
yeah.
Dean, if you could ask the question because you keep
Yeah,
cutting
no,
in
I
and
was
out.
just saying, what, when you see these solar flares and you relate it to yourself and all these changes in the atmosphere, do you go into your place of, okay, these solar flares are making a change, I need to change with it? I'm reading this book like ISIS.
Okay, I understand the question, and I think that as I was speaking to the beloved brother before you about that NASA and the entire way that they have given you a specific narrative about the reality of our world. The
Mhm.
solar flares are actually a cleansing mechanism that the sun gives off
Yep.
in order to purge the atmosphere of thoughts that would cause certain types of energies to actually wreak havoc on this planet. We're talking about what's getting ready to go down, where they talk about uh, hurricanes and volcanoes. All of these, the solar flares, the sun, you have to stop looking at the sun as something 95 million miles away. It's not 92 million miles away. That's nonsense. The
Mhm.
sun is about maybe 5,500 miles in the air. It
Mhm.
is not circling, we're not circling it, it's circling above us.
Mhm.
And what it is we are in a gigantic cyclotron. I see behind you that you have a lot of schematics, which means that your mind is one that regulates and works to deal with solutions at the microscopic level. So I can actually address you at that level. The
Okay.
sun essentially is there to not only give the cyclotron, the movement that you see there, the electromagnetic field that we're working on, it is there to actually manage the electromagnetic field that we're using that we call our atmosphere. It's there as a computer to make sure that it monitors the life forms on the planet and whatever it is that is going to disturb that. Every time a certain level of time comes around, and they can actually say that they can look at the sun and say, oh, here comes a flare, get ready for the flare. The flare is the way that the consciousness that created the sun cleanses the atmospheres and prepares the atmosphere for what is new. It is
Okay.
not bad, it is good.
Mm.
That's what I felt that. I felt like it's a
Hmm.
communication and I'm taking it as information. It's
Yes,
going through the earth and the
indeed.
earth is, our frequencies are changing. The
In
human
your breath.
resonance is changing.
In your breath. You have to understand that what it does is it permeates the atmosphere as the solar energies that you see permeating the waters of life. That light that you see coming through the atmosphere, that atmosphere is water. And what you're dealing with is programming information. This is light code transmissions. That's
Okay.
what the sun flares are. Some
Mhm.
come, there are certain transmissions that are already there that just give you them in a very benign manner. And then there's abrupt changes that are necessary that the sun gives out, and all of a sudden things start happening. Or,
Yeah.
okay, that's the marginalization. Do not fear that because they want you to fear it. They want you
Yeah.
to think that all the communications get messed up. Yeah, but what's been communicating through those lines? What kind of hate and crap and pornography and all child molesting and all this kind of stuff that's been communicating through those lines? The sun flares are there. That's your Jesus wreaking havoc against the so-called the people in the temples, the so-called people in the temples. What
Well,
is the temple? The temple is the corporate entities that are out there feeding
mhm.
up all this crap to our people. So your
Yep.
Jesus is one is just knocking out communications that do not serve the better good.
No.
So I would say to you that you're on point the way you look at it. Your sun and your moon are the electric and the magnetic. It is a gigantic cyclotron, a gigantic battery, and the
Mhm.
movement of the both of them above are what's keeping what you call the energy alive. Everything
Yeah.
is dealing with movement, and so therefore your thoughts now have to move in synchronicity for what is planned for the human race for the next 25 to 100 years, and the sun is preparing us for that.
Excellent.
Okay.
Dean, I want to thank you for your question, my brother. Good to see you
Oh,
again.
thank you. Always good. Always a
All right.
pleasure.
All
One
right,
love.
brother.
Thank you.
Peace. Doc, you're giving some great answers tonight to all these questions. I'm definitely enjoying just sitting back and
Good.
learning. Shout out to everybody who came on with the questions. Once again, family, before we continue, we probably got about 15 minutes left. Like I said, Doc's gonna talk for 10 or more hours on Sunday. So Doc needs his rest leading up to the event. But I want to make sure I plug this event again before the end of the show. Make sure y'all tune in. Y'all, it's this Sunday, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Aristocracy of Evil, the Redux Constructs of the New Old Order. It's gonna be fire, family. It's gonna be fire. Anything you want to add on before we continue with the Q&A, Phil?
Yeah, just what you say that if they're having any problems, they can go to. I don't know if you posted the rest of the information with the Sanu777 at Gmail. If they're
Mhm.
having any problems with registering, just send a request to my email Sunnu 777 at Gmail. Send that request, but make sure that in the subject box you put in all capital letters webinar, and that way I will send you directly from my email the registration link. Also, if you're looking for consultations or any kind of help dealing with problems that you can't have your job unless you know what, then you can get in contact with me at 800-847-1291. That's 800-847-1291.
All right, all right. Let's keep it moving. Make sure y'all sign up this Sunday. It's going down, family. It's gonna be an amazing event. Let's keep it moving. Who we got next here? We got Sienna the Superior. Sienna the
Hello,
Superior. What's going on?
can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, I don't know if I have a question so much as I just want to share and get feedback. So, um, I'm in a situation where I live in the inner city, and there's a lot of gun violence out where I live, and a lot of these people I do or did know, and I felt like over the years I've been living here, since I have been actively doing altar work and shadow work, I feel like on the spiritual side, my light is like the brightest, and it makes me feel like these spirits make their way to me, and I have experimented, and I felt like my ancestors guided me to do so because for practice and for experience. But what happened was I ended up like creating this spiritual army. So much to I had to take and create the different war elements that they're used to and put it into a separate altar in the garage because the garage is not connected to the house. So to me, the garage represents like abstract thoughts. So I put that altar out there to kind of free up some space in the home because it was like a lot going on, and I could feel that it was chaotic, although I was navigating in. I say I was handling it pretty well because I wasn't in danger or anything like that. It was just more so me interacting with the chaos that they were used to. And so my question is, how can I like what type of ritual or spell could I do in order for them to begin more so protecting the neighborhood? Like I don't know if I should be putting more energy at the trees or like will that help? Or like is there a bigger entity that's kind of keeping this area on the level that it's at?
Well, the first thing, I've worked with energies through a method they call sorcery. And my first question, well, my only question to you is, if you are going to be spelling, what entity are you serving, and what entity are you calling upon in order for you to have favored results?
The entity that has been what I personally feel like that has been trying to pull this energy out of me is Santa Muerte. Yeah.
You're talking about the sigil of death.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you're dealing with the sigil of death, then what you're doing is strengthening the very energies that are around you. That's happening at this moment. You have to look to light.
Mm.
You're not dealing with the light. The darkness is here. You don't feed the darkness with one who brings the darkness, because he closes the eyes of the world. He closes the eyes of the light of the world to people and brings them into his amenti, as it's called. So you want to bring light where the darkness is. You don't want to bring darkness to where darkness is. You're only enriching and doing his job.
So would you say that the Virgin Mary is the better option?
Yes, you want to deal with something that has to do with light. You have to deal with one who contradicts the darkness, one who works against the darkness. And I don't mean just darkness that you see when you turn out the lights. I'm talking about the light within. I'm talking about enhancing the light within, which means that people begin to understand the responsibility for their action. And you have,
Reflection.
yes. And the reflection is mirror magic is what's best for you at this particular time. Have you tried that?
That's crazy. I that's crazy that you say that. I'm looking at a mirror right now, and then I have another um mirror right behind it, and I haven't really tapped into the mirror magic yet. And but I know that to me, how they present themselves to me, the Virgin Mary and Santa Muerta, they are a twin to me because I'm a Virgo, and but I have a Gemini moon, so that's the twin. And I was always kind of teeter tottering back and forth with both of them, but
But your nature, beloved, your nature is one with the Virgin Mary. You're not dealing with the masculine energy properly. Your
okay,
masculine energy is actually superseding the one that you're supposed to be using, which is your feminine energy, and you're not using that to the fullest extent. You have to step back and actually examine where your focus and your attention is, especially when you intend to do magic. That's a very, very delicate thing. You are actually manipulating forces. I've done that, and I've
mm-hmm,
dealt with the payment. It's nothing free. It's not free. You have
right.
to go from something in order for you to actually have something happen. And then the universe calls for balance. So I would suggest that you extol the feminine energies in Ma'at, in Ast, in Heteru, and these energies that are feminine in their nature, Yamaya, and these are the energies that are your power. These are your power. The other energies are not your power. You're just enhancing their energy by giving up yours.
That makes complete sense.
See, and I appreciate the question and the call, my sister.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Peace. All right, let's keep it moving. We got here. We got Troy Benz. Troy Benz, what's happening, brother?
There we go. Thank you very much, Brother Phil, Dr. Phil, and Brother Rich for taking my call. Um, Brother Valentine, some of us live on the other side of the world and would love to attend our your webinar. So I hope in the future there's an opportunity for us. The question that I had for you is this. What would you say to the people who are starting to feel more tapped in, starting to feel a separation from the herd? Dreams are becoming more vivid, and the ringing in our ears, we're starting to hear it more often. What would you say to these people who are starting to feel some of the upgrades?
I say open up and surrender to it. These are downloads that are attempting to find the those who have been chosen. Essentially, we once our focus and our attention is away from the herd, as you say, you become one of the chosen. Because this is something that you don't do very easily. You look around you and see how many people are lost. Just imagine you through the filter and the attention that you've placed on yourself in reference to the world. Just imagine that. That's your initiation process that you're taking into consideration. And as far as you coming to join me from the other part of the world, I invite you to think about joining my spring semester coming up in metaphysical psychology, because that's where I do most of my help to the brothers and sisters in preparation for what's getting ready to come down. They go through their initiation process through that particular course. So if you want to, you can go to uksnow.org. That's U as in United, K as in King, S as in Science, NOW.org, and just click where it says registration. Fill out the form, and in the last box, just put down registering for spring semester MPSY 1 2024. And then if you join us, it's a 3-month course. We have 6 classes. You get to keep the recording. You get to keep the PowerPoint, and I would suggest that if you want to know any real deep parts, thank you very much, King. King Simon, thank you, beloved. If you are seriously want to get into, I've had superstar football players, basketball players. I've
Mhm.
had superstar singers. Earth, Wind, and Fire were my friends. These are the people that I know that I had. That their sons were my students. And I'm saying to you, there's everybody out there. I would really suggest that if you do have the finances to come to the classes, I haven't changed the amount for the course for the last 25 years. It's the
Okay.
same. So if you want, I would suggest that you look it up. We're starting our new semester on the 23rd of March. If you are
Okay.
really interested in getting deep into understand what the next 10 to 20 years, what the next millennium is about, I would suggest you prepare yourself with metaphysical psychology.
I appreciate that. Thank
Hey,
you. Thank you,
hey,
Brother Rich.
yes, sir. Peace. All right, let's keep it moving, family. We got Empress Cindy. Empress, are you there? Empress Cindy, are you there?
Yes,
We're gonna
greetings, greetings, blessed love, greetings,
Uh,
peace.
blessed love.
Okay.
Irie.
Thanks for having me on the show.
I can't hear you, brother. Is there any way you could talk louder?
Oh, give thanks for having me on the show. Sorry about that. I had a speaker, and then
Yes, sir.
yeah, give thanks, Dr. Valentine. Long time, and I wanted to connect with you, and this
Give
is the right
thanks.
opportunity. Give thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you know about the Lumi? In terms of the cryptocurrencies that you've been talking about. I
Hmm.
think there's one coming from Africa someplace. I don't remember the country right now off the top of my head, but it's called Lumi. What do you know about that?
Yes. Someone send me information on the Lumi, and I'm waiting for some kind of white paper on it. And until I see the white paper, I'm not moving anywhere towards anything that I don't understand. Because I know that there are a lot of people who are out there.